Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking those techniques that we learned yesterday and we're going to start coloring our bug. So it is an exciting day. Hopefully you got enough practice in yesterday. If you don't feel that you did, it's a better idea to go back, rewatch that video and get some more practice in with our techniques, layering, selective silver or copper, right? And blending. So make sure you're feeling confident and comfortable with those steps before moving on to your final piece today. But I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling confident. I'm actually going to, for this demo, be coloring in the silver side because I feel like it is easier to see on camera than it is when I'm coloring in on the copper side. So just if you're wondering why I'm using this side, that would be why. So reminder, we want to use all three of our techniques: layering, selective, or saving silver, or copper if you're using that side, and blending. I'm going to start off with layering because I know with layering I need to let that dry for a minute first before I move on to the top layer. With layering, I want to remember too that I need to use the lighter color first. So if I'm going to be using, say, this light blue and I'm going to be doing, I'll do this darker blue over the top. So those are my two colors that I'm going to use the light blue first. I'm going to choose what part I'm going to be doing the layering on. As a side note, we only have to actually color in the bug. If we look at our examples, let me just pop forward to those real quick. To our examples, they are mostly all just colored in the bug itself. You can do a bit into the background, but if you're coloring in the entire background, it does kind of take that pop and pizzazz away from the bug, so that the bug stands out. We really kind of are focusing on just coloring that portion in. So just wanted to give that as a heads up, but you have the artistic freedom to make those choices on your piece. All right, back to layering. I'm actually almost doing a bit of layering and selective silver on this one because I'm also going to keep, you know what, this one's not working so well. I'm going to get a different color. We're going to go with this one here. I don't know if that cap was off and it was drying out or what happened. So I am being really careful not to push down hard with my Sharpie on this because I don't want to be denting in my metal at all, right? We want to keep that foil shaped just the way it is. Notice I'm going all in the same direction. So once again, I'm doing layering and kind of doing some selective silver here too because I am going to be doing that on my wing. So kind of get your game plan ready to go and what you think you want to do before you just start working on it. Okay, I'm going to make that look really nice. Just trying to blend in some of the lininess of my Sharpie right now so it looks good when all is said and done. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good. We're going to let that dry. In the meantime, I am going to move on to my next method here, and I'm going to do some blending. So I'm going to choose my colors. Remember, blending is where we get it to go from one color to the next and having that smooth transition. We're going to have to do some overlapping with this. So let's see, for the sake of the video, I think I'm going to choose some pretty bold colors here so we can see it well. Red, orange, and yellow, my nice warm colors. And I'm going to do it up in this little section here, I think. Oh my goodness, that red was not on. Did you see that? It just popped right off. Whoopsies. Okay, so I'm going to start right here with my red. I'm going to go a little less than a third of the way. So I do want this to go the entire way across this little section here. So I gotta kind of plan that out. So I've got my red down. I'll pull this closer to the camera in just a moment here. Now I'm overlapping by just a bit with my orange. And by doing so, it pulls some of the red into the orange. Now I'm doing my next row with just orange. So let me hold that to the camera so you can see that a little bit closer. See that better? How that's turning out so far. And now I'm going to be adding in the yellow next. So here we go. Once again with the yellow, I'm overlapping by just a bit into that orange. It's going to pull some of the orange into my yellow. And then from there, I'm going to just continue with the yellow itself. And there we have it. Nicely blended. I'm going to come back to my layering, the blue right down there. So I chose a little darker blue than I was originally intending because that lightest one just was not showing up. So now I got to go darker yet. Maybe I'll choose this kind of violet color. That's beautiful. And I have to decide what I'm going to layer on top of it. I'm going to do a little bit of a scallop here. I think I'm going to go in this direction so we can see more of that scalloping. So scalloping, remember, kind of looks just like scales. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. I'll hold this closer to the camera too in just a moment so you can see that. And get really tiny in here. Excellent. And a little bit more down at that end. And we've got layering. Remember, with layering, you don't have to end with just one color. You can add in more than that. So maybe I want to bring some of that red from before into here. Maybe I put a little dot inside of each of those scallops. Like so. I do have a lot of little dots all over with the background, so it kind of mimics that too. Work quickly here for you guys. So I can hold that up. So just as a reminder, with layering, you don't have to just choose two colors. You could potentially add in more than that. I feel like it's kind of hard to tell that that's red on the camera. See if I get it in closer. Can you tell? Not really. But here's the marker. So anyway, there's that red. All right, and then the last, of course, is that selective silver or copper. So where we're saving the silver. So I'm going to come back with that blue that I used before. And I said this at the beginning that I already kind of was doing that because I wasn't coming right up to the line here. I was saving that, right? Leaving some of that silver to show through. So I'm going to do that again right here. And maybe for this whole wing I've chosen to do both selective silver as well as layering. So you can kind of combine them and merge them in ways that make it look really cool. So plan that out in advance. If you want to even color in your paper sheet in advance to make sure before we move it on to the final piece that you really love how it's looking. So once again, we've got layering, we've got blending, and we've got some selective or saving silver or copper happening there as well. So we've got a total of 2 days to complete our coloring in of our bug. Don't forget, once you're done, to go on into our slides and make sure not only that you're adding your artwork to the Hall of Frame by clicking on the Hall of Frame and claiming your frame by putting in your name, right? So I'm going to choose a frame, put my name down at the bottom, come up to the top here and go to Insert Image. And there's lots of ways to do this, but probably the easiest is to just take a picture right with your Chromebook. So, but there are other ways to do that as well. And then don't forget to add your pictures to your art journal entry as well. The full view detail shots just means like getting in close so we can see the lines, so we can see the Sharpie blending. Don't forget to put your time on. Get all of this ready to go so that once it's turn-in day, it's just so much easier, so much more a breeze, and you're feeling confident and not procrastinating like most of us humans tend to do. Okay, so 2 days once again to be working on making this look absolutely lovely. Don't be afraid to look at the examples in our slides for inspiration, and I cannot wait to see how these turn out. See you next time.